You guys a fan of stories? Alright, let me tell you a story real quick. I was sitting down, looking at my computer, and my computer was looking back at me with a nasty expression. An expression that said, "You have 17 assignments due in 17 minutes, you imbecile." Now I know that science has proven that stress is not good for you, so I made the smart decision to do literally anything else. So I started browsing YouTube for different video game soundtracks to put them in a playlist like the absolute super nerd I am. I've always been a fan of the DS, so I just looked up good DS soundtrack, and I got this playlist. After going through a bunch of songs, I eventually came across this. And if you're anything like me, your initial reaction probably sounded like, why is that a bartender on DS, man? What? Which is pretty understandable. It's not every day you see the words bartender and DS put together, and EA, so my curiosity spiked a lot. Like, if I was a cat, I would be a pile of mush. Yeah, that's how curious I was. I looked for a video on the game, and I only got one result that was titled Bartender DS Gameplay. What is all the honeysuckle? Blood and sand? The Princeton? Bro, that is a school. the painkiller? The mind eraser? Oh my god. These are not real, right? Walk in, sit down, you're all confident. Yeah, I'll take the salty dog. This is salty hot dog water, like frozen matador. Like, are these like stereotypes? These cannot be real drinks. That just says Philip. That just says Philip. We're not gonna worry about Brass Monkey over here. That just says Philip. If I go into a bar and ask for a Harvard wall banger, I think the only thing I'm gonna get is a funny look. Ah, Blue Lagoon. Mai Tai! I'll take it, Mai Tai! Is that it? Where was the gameplay? There's no way that's it, right? This video only increased my curiosity on what the hell this thing is trying to be. So I looked it up on Google. The only info I could get on this was that it came out on September 27th, 2007, that it was quickly banned everywhere else except Japan because there's references to alcohol in a DS, and that the gameplay consists of recipes and information on about 850 cocktails and how to make them. At this point, I am pretty much in denial, thinking that this cannot be true. So in an effort to squeeze out just a little more info, because nothing else said anything about this game, I tried translating the cover, and for the most part it sucked. I mean, look at it. It didn't even try for half of it. But down here, you can see that it confirms that there really are just recipes for drinks. My original perception was that this was some type of game, maybe like Papa's Pizzeria or something, but no. This is actually just a book of cocktails to help real-life working bartenders. So does this mean that all these goofy, doofy drinks are real? What made EA or Nintendo think that a grown-ass man in 2007 was gonna use their DS for work, let alone have one, or borrow their child's DS to help them bartend? Like, imagine you show up to a bar, exhausted after a long day at work, and you could seriously go for a burnt almond right now. And the first thing you see is the bartender playing with the DS. Do you know how you'd react? Because I certainly don't. I don't know what the fuck I'd do in that situation. I really wonder if this has, like, ever happened to anyone. But more so, I wonder if some poor child has ever excitedly shredded their wrapping paper of a DS game-shaped Christmas gift, only to see Bartender DS on the inside. Really, I somewhat understand why something like this was made. Nintendo during this time was generally in an experimental period. The iPhone at this point was only a few months old, so companies at this point were still competing to try and get their technology as a part of daily life. That's why we got things like the DSi alarm clock and why we got the news and weather channels on the Wii. But even with this in mind, a DS product that tells you how to make cocktails is something that no one would expect. And that's honestly what makes this so cool. The only thing cooler and more unexpected than that is the fact that they put this much effort into the soundtrack. Listen to this, man.